Top of the morning, y'all. I'm EJ, you're you. Welcome to my channel. I don't know why that's the green that I went with, but today we're going to be building two little areas on Quadratini. Now, originally you were just going to get one area, but I'm feeling generous because of the holiday season and also the first build was really short. So, let's get right into it. But before we do that, if you want to see more Animal Crossing design videos like this one, why don't you drop kick that subscribe button, right hook that like button, and whisper sweet nothings into that comment box. And enjoy! The first section that I'm going to be building is right next to my campsite. I honestly wasn't super sure what I wanted to do with this area, but I knew I wanted to keep it natural, and then my mom actually gave me a genius idea to turn it into a maple syrup farm. Incredible, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is just build out this cliff section to make it kind of wall between this campground extension and the train bridge area. I'm lucky in that this cliff section that I already had built up was just lined up perfectly with the rock formation and also the skintiest part of my beach. So that way I'm actually able to place a piece of furniture to block access and, control viewers' experiences, make them follow the path I want them to take, all that. So I ended up using a tall garden rock here to kind of block the way, and I think it turned out really well. I feel like it blends in nicely. Now I'm also going to have to time travel anyways, so I'm just going to plant some cedar saplings now to get them started. Amazingly, I'm managing my time well. Ooh. And finally, I'm just going to adjust this cliff edge to get it ready for my natural incline. There, like magic, incline is built. Trees, they're grown, and I'm going to be using this sleigh path pattern to make it look like someone, sledded down the ramp. As a friendly reminder, I do put all of the creator codes in the description of this video in case you want to use them. I got lazy and didn't want to put them in the video anymore. Anyways, now I'm going to arrange these trees. The shape of this area is a little hard just because it's so vertical, it's very long and skinny. So I had to be really cognizant of sight lines when I was placing all of these trees, and I ultimately ended up actually not using all of them just so I could have a nice path all the way through and people could actually see what they were doing. So I'm using these wooden buckets to kind of be the quote-unquote taps that collect sap from these trees. I also realized that technically these should be hardwood trees if this is supposed to be a maple syrup farm, but I like the cedar trees better and it's my island, so. Also, like everyone else on my Instagram, I'm obsessed with the kids' tents, so I turned my little beach into a campsite. But now it's path time. Also, side note, can we talk about this Kingdom Hearts lo-fi mix? I'm living for it. I was thrilled when I found it, and then when I heard it, I was like, wait a minute. When I heard this mix, it awoke something deep within me, a deep recess of me, playing Riku 2 in frickin' Hollow Bastion 6,000 times over. Anyways, picture, cause syrup, right? And now, for the campsite area, I inexplicably used this. But luckily, after a good night's sleep, I came to my senses and I changed it. I also got rid of the bonfire because I thought it just looked a little bit like a signal fire. It just kind of looked out of place. So now I'm just doing some last little touches, a camp stove, and I'm also going to use this bamboo noodle slide as a more involved tree tap. Lastly, I'm just going to place down some shrubs and flowers, you know, fill in the area with some nature, die Natur. And now here's the finished area. I also used some mushrooms and pine cones around the trees just to fill it in. But, you know, I think it's simple, but it's a fun little winter fun area. It's very natural and used up some cute stuff. I like it. On to the next area. So the next section that we're going to work on is this little raised area. Now the incline was provided by my good friend Joe, who streams on Twitch. I will link to him in the description. I wanted to make this into a cute little raised winter public park, so let's go. First, just because the white of the snow blends in between levels for me, I'm using this stone pattern to make the edge of the third level a little more apparent. And then we're just going to start off with pathing to help us figure out the shape and flow of this park. I'm also obviously placing down, you know, trees to help me figure out where they should go. Of course, gotta place some benches and things. I'm also putting a little log stool here to act as like a little side table. I recently got this Valiant statue that everyone is like obsessed with, and like, yeah, I'm also obsessed with it, so I'm putting it in my public park. Now let's get rid of some of these pumpkins. Placing down street lamps so that, you know, people feel safe or whatever. And then a trees bounding arch to really kind of make this feel like a different section, to make a threshold for people to cross. Now, sightlines was an issue with this design as well. As you can see, I placed down this tree and it is way in the way just because of where it's placed. So I went ahead and dug it up, but I'll figure out a good place for it later. More pathing, just gonna figure out, you know, the flow of this little area. It's a fun shape, this park. I really do like the shape of this park, how it's kind of a triangle. I think it's kind of unconventional, unorthodox, and really fun and pleasing to the eye. Now here I'm good digging out more of the cliffs because I do want a tree down here. I just, you know, I can't really fit a lot of trees in this area just because of the shape of the park. So I wanted to put a tree there and I think it worked out pretty well. Gonna fix up this pathing just a little bit. I wanted to just make this area a little more full since I changed the cliffs around this area. And then a wild log bench because I'm obsessed with them. Fencing time. Time for the fencing. And also shrubs. Now we're just placing around some nature, some flowers, and of course putting the transparent tiles all around the flowers so that they do not clone. Because God, I hate when they clone. And now we have the finished area. Here it is. I'm kind of obsessed with this area just because it feels so separated from the rest of it. It feels like a real nice break from the rest of the town. And I think it's just a nice, lovely, secluded thing. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed these two little areas. I'm going to take pictures of myself in this area, but make sure you hit that subscribe to see my next video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!